That is Henry Fayol's principles of management, or 14 principles of Mr. Henry Fayol. So in the previous class we have discussed up to the 7th principle, that is remuneration. Just go through that one only. So remuneration principle stands for, so as a manager you must pay your employee a good amount of remuneration, which means you must pay the remuneration which he or she desired. Okay, so desired amount of salaries you must pay. Just and fair, usually say just and fair remuneration, which means for the work, whatever the contribution you are getting from the employee, you must award him with the equal amount of remuneration, which means good amount of salary. Whereas fair and just remuneration is nothing but if suppose the same employee is going to work in the same designation in another organization, the same industry, so he should get more or less same salary. So like such salary we must give. That is what a remuneration. The next one, centralization and decentralization. So according to this principle, Henry Fayol says that, so in any organization, to get an effective control over the organization or on the activities, you must implement a balanced amount of centralized and decentralized authority. Whereas the centralization stands for retention of authority in few hands, or decision making authority lies in few hands. Okay, so all of the managers are not allowed to take decisions. Only the decision making authority lies in the few hands, like the people of top level management. So whereas decentralization stands for delegation of authority, which is nothing but in each level the departmental manager or in the each level manager, he has a power to take decision. Okay, so decentralization, which means delegation of authority, whereas centralization means retention of authority. So in an organization, Henry Fayol says that, so there should not be a complete centralization or complete decentralization. He refuses. Henry Fayol refuses complete centralization or complete decentralization. Okay, he suggests that, so in order to get a efficient control over your organization, there must be a proper balance of centralization and decentralization. Means some amount of up to some extent there should be a centralized authority, whereas up to some extent there must be a decentralized authority. Okay, so there must be balance between centralization and decentralization of decision. Then moving to the next principle, that is scalar chain, the very important principle suggested by Mr. Henry Fayol, that is scalar chain. So which is nothing but in an organization, so we usually know that there is always a subordinate superior relationship, superior subordinate relationship. So he says that there must be a proper flow of authority and communication from top to bottom. Okay, so if suppose a communication is supposed to be passed, that's supposed to be passed in a particular chain, whereas the order also. Take an example, it can be explained with this. If suppose A is a boss, okay, so whereas these are all the subordinates, okay, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, like this. So in this chain, this is called as chain, this is called as scalar chain. Okay, whereas each employees or each job positions, they are having some responsibility, they are having some authority. Okay, so Mr. B is a subordinate for A, whereas he is a superior for C. So likewise, some chain will be. So he suggests, Mr. Henry Fayol suggests that, so in an organization, flow of communication and authority must follow this line. If suppose something to be implemented, so that order must be passed through A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, likewise. And in the same manner, again this second line also, the second line of authority. So okay, you are not allowed to contact directly your CEO without approaching to your immediate higher authorities. You must go through immediate higher authorities. They will convey the message and again they will implement their decisions on you. Okay, so that you must follow this chain of communication or chain of authority. Okay, you are not allowed to break this. That is called as scalar chain, which is nothing but flow of communication and authority from top to lower, top to bottom, or the highest order to the lowest order. Okay, so only in some special cases, or in an emergency, you are allowed to communicate with the same level employees. Okay, so that is called as gangplank. Okay, so there is a technique called gangplank, which means in some cases, in some special cases or in an emergency, okay, so employees allowed to establish communication with the same level employee without going through the higher authorities. So that can be called as gangplank, and that should not be a regular habit. Only in some cases, some emergency cases, you are allowed to use this, and later you are supposed to defend why you went through. Okay. So there may be some cases which may delays. Okay, so just in order to establish a immediate communication. Okay, so there is a shorter route through which you can establish a communication with the same level employees, and that is what a gangplank technique is. Okay, that's about a scalar chain, the principle of scalar chain. Then equity. So in an organization, manager must have some good sense and experience to implement this particular principle. Okay, because you supposed to treat your employee equally. Okay, your decision must be free from personal bias. You should take on the equality grounds. You should take any decision on the equality grounds. You are not allowed to have an influence of your personal bias. Your decision must be free from personal bias. That's what equality, which means you should treat your employee equally. Okay, irrespective of caste, gender, language, religion, nationality, or whatever. Okay, so you must treat your employees equally. Okay, which means your decisions on your employee or your views on your employees must be free from personal bias. Okay, so your personal things are not going to influence over your decision. You must take decision on the equality grounds. Okay, whether at the time of deciding promotion or at the time of deciding salary increments or whatever. So every time you must your decisions must be free from personal bias. Okay, that is what equity. Okay, which is nothing but treating employee equally. So it requires some amount of good sense as well as some amount of experience. Then moving to the next principle, that is order. Okay, order. When it comes to order, you must maintain good amount of discipline in the organization. Okay, order stands for Henry Ford says that every man and material in the organization, okay, must be meant for some particular place. So your man and material must be placed appropriately in a right place. Or in simple words, we used to say everything must be placed, and everything has its own place, and everything must be placed in its place. Okay, which means for every material and man there's supposed to be a rightful place, and you keep that material and man in a rightful places. So I usually explain this with an example. You take a habit of keeping car key or a bike key just after immediately going home. So you can keep your car key like this, or you can keep your car key like this also. So if you keep your car key like this, okay, or like this, it takes only 1 second. But when tomorrow morning you want your key back, you want to get it back, so if you keep like this, so getting back also take only 1 second. Instead of that, if you throw your key like this, so when you want it back, it takes huge amount of time. You need to spend some time to search that. So that's what. Okay, that is what order. So usually in the library, books are kept in order so that you can find the particular book which you want easily. So that is what, in an organization also, that sort of discipline is required. Every man and material is meant for a particular place. So that particular man and material should be placed in a rightful place. Okay, that is what a principle of order. Then moving to the next one, that is initiative. In an organization, so you supposed to deal with some employees who are intelligent at work. So in such cases, if they are coming up with a good idea, you supposed to value their ideas. You supposed to consider their suggestions. Okay, if their suggestions are worthwhile, so you supposed to welcome. Or otherwise, if you want to reject, so you can reject, but that should not hurt the employees. In such a way, you should reject. Okay, so which means you supposed to create such an environment where your employees supposed to feel very free to come up with an idea. Okay, so you supposed to create such grounds. Okay, so where sometimes they may come up with a good idea that you can accept, or sometimes you are not in a you don't think that is good. So in such cases you can reject, but you should reject in such a manner that they should not get hurt. Okay, that is what the initiative principle is. Okay, you must value their ideas and their suggestions also. Next, stability of personnel. So the success of any organization depends on how long your workers are working in your organization. Okay, so every manager must make his maximum efforts to minimize the labor turnover. Okay, you must be able to maintain labor in your organization or employees in your organization. You are supposed to try to retain employees in your organization at least up to a minimum tenure, up to a certain minimum period. So otherwise, every time people are coming and they are quitting, or you are going to relieve them. Okay, so because of any reasons, if you are terminating or they are only quitting, so the effect will be on organization itself, because again you are supposed to go for recruitment, selection, training. So it all leads to burden, and which impacts on your profitability. So in order to improve your profitability, so you must maintain stability of personnel, which is nothing but you must try to you must put maximum efforts to minimize the labor turnover. Okay, you should motivate the employees, and you should make the people to realize, so they can work with satisfaction in your organization. Okay, you should create such a environment. Okay, that is what stability of personnel. Okay, you are not allowed to leave the employees. Okay, you should not bring the feel in your organization, in your employees, that they should quit. Okay, so you should make them realize they are good in your organization. Okay, they can get a good amount of remuneration. They can get a friendly environment. Then the last 14th principle of Mr. Henry Fayol, that is esprit de corps. It is a French word. Esprit de corps is nothing but it stands for there should be a team spirit, or there is a strength in unity. Okay, you are supposed to get the unity, team spirit. You should create the team spirit in the organization. Okay, so that people should work as a team. Okay, always they should work with a harmony. Always employees should feel that instead of I, they should think as we. Okay, you should make them realize they can work in a good environment. Okay, you are supposed to create that good team spirit among your employees. So that is what esprit de corps, or developing a team spirit in the organization. Okay, so these are all the principles of management which are given by the Henry Fayol. So he has given these 14 principles, 14 steps to find where we are going wrong, and these are the 14 steps where we can improve our managerial abilities and performance. Okay, that is why as a result of these 14 principles, he is known as the father of general management. Okay, so that is about all 14 principles of management. In the next class, we will go for the principles of Mr. F.W. Taylor. Okay, so till then, stay home, keep learning. Thank you.